Haley, what's up? Now, in the show and in Miss Pettigrew, you did a lot of sort of broad comedy, but also in the show as well as The Fall, so much of your work seems to be... That movie was awesome!
Thanks for checking it. I'm so proud of that movie. I shot it like 4 years ago, and thanks for going to see it.
I mean, so much of your work, obviously in that film as well as some of what we see in the show, comes from such a subtle, nuanced, quiet place that's always so full of truth and beauty and honesty. And I'm wondering whether it's balancing that or the broad comedy, how you kind of go on that process of finding the truth and beauty and honesty in all of your moments on screen.
Well, I don't even know. It's all got to come from a place for me that you just mean what you say and you say it from your heart and stuff. So that's kind of the basic stuff. With this show, what I love about it, and it's kind of a great challenge for me, is that it is comedy, and you have to also have a good time with it. Like we have to have a good time all day. If we're not having a good time, it's going to be no fun to watch. And so that's part of the extra.
But you also play the reality of every scene, even though it's funny.
Always.
I don't see you being funny, and I resent him thinking you're a big funny comedy actor. Don't you think it's all you're doing is playing the reality? Each one of you, you're
That's
just playing
all
the
I do.
reality of the scene.
No, seriously, because I think that when it's funny, you don't have to make it funny. And I think what makes Emerson's character funny is that he just does not really comment on, the fantasy of the show or really comment on how crazy something is. I mean, you do in a snide way, but when you play the reality, you give the audience credit for being smart, instead of trying to make it funny and trying to tell them, okay, here's where you laugh. So that's what I love about the show. Playing the reality is great comedy.
But something that's great about Pushing Daisies is that I've never been happier than when I've worked on this show. Like when I've done some of the darker movies that I've done, it's like you go home and you take it with you. I mean, I see Heath Ledger on your shirt right now, and I heard a lot of criticism after he passed about how there was, that they were blaming what happened to him on the character he played, and absolutely, there's no way you can put a performance like that together and it not hurt your soul. It's tough on you. But when you do a part like Ned on Pushing Daisies, it makes your life really great. Like I get to fall in love all day. I get to, it's really great. It's like I've never been happier than when I worked on this show.
Hey, see you guys at a Comic-Con on
We have a very, very happy set. The mood is always great on the set, and it's unusual. When I did Boston, we had a really good time working, and this is just a lot of camaraderie. It's like summer camp, and Hollywood can be a very petty place. Like in the green room, they got little food tables, and there's signs on the table that says, "This food for Warner Brothers." And the next one, "This food for ABC Family." It ain't nothing but like 4 cans of Sprite and some corn chips, And it's a dude standing there like, "Hey man, you ain't on the NBC show." "I just want some gum." "No man, your breath going to stink because you ain't on The Office." But we don't have any of that stuff on our set because we all respect each other. And first and foremost, and we all believe that we all contribute equally to the success of the show. There's no one who's above anyone else. And I think that has more to do with, the kind of people that we are as people, and that's why we can go home unburdened and why we can work happily in our job and as a result create a show that makes you happy.
Can I just say also, it's a land. And what's so wonderful, I think, one of the reasons why it's so wonderful to watch, because you can escape into this world. And in this world, even though things are maybe a little larger than life in certain ways, the characters are so dear and real. And they're written that way, and so they're portrayed that way. And what's wonderful is we do all like each other. We really feel like a family. So support us and adopt us.